Hello. Sorry, I just haven't used my voice in so long.
Tell me about it. But it feels good to be back. Doesn't it, Isabel? Isabel?
Angie, it is way too early to be doing this.
But it's 2 in the afternoon.
Your point?
Okay, nope. Okay. I say we just start off talking about the hands-on classes and how this is affecting students with jobs.
Yeah, also how students are staying busy because this boredom is getting to me.
Is that a chicken?
What's his name?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Okay, no. Sorry. Get back on track, you guys. That is a nice chicken, but...
It would look better on a plate.
Hey!
Wait, hold on, Preston, did he get kicked out? Preston, we can't see you.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Hey! Stop yelling at me. Just because you can't see me doesn't mean I can't hear you.
Back for another episode from the comfort of our own homes.
This is JAG
JAG
TV.
TV.
JAG TV.
Yeah. Woo! Go team.
2020.
Please do not cut that in. Please take that out.
Oh, please.
No, we're definitely taking that out. No, we're not.
Phase-in Part 1 started this Tuesday with a little over 200 kids on campus. According to the school board's plan, the campus will now start moving forward through the phases, and they're detailed on the district website.
JROTC hosted their annual Patriots Day ceremony on September 11th. Cadets raised the flag and observed a moment of silence to honor the first responders and victims.
And if you've been on campus, you've probably noticed some of the small details meant to remind everyone how to stay healthy, including JAG social distancing markers and blue tape that divides the hallways.
The counseling office added a new counseling position this year, one that could help make the journey from high school to undergrad a bit smoother. Eduardo visited with a new counselor, Tenley Barrow.
Johnson is welcoming a new staff member in the counseling department, adding a counselor who will solely be focused on life beyond graduation.
Basically, I'm going to help you with anything dealing with life after graduation. So postgraduate things like ACT, SAT, PSAT, ASVAB testing, all of those things, anything dealing with the military, scholarships, college applications, pretty much anything that deals with that.
The addition of Ms. Barrow's position comes with benefits for all students, including a more personalized counseling experience.
I would say definitely if you are a junior, you should come see me as soon as possible. And then the seniors as well, if they have not decided what they're going to be doing, if they've kind of been on the fence about something, and anybody that is trying to figure out how to do a college application or figure out transcript requests and things like that, we need to talk pretty soon.
While some students may believe a meeting is not necessary, Ms. Barrow is open to anybody.
I think that there will be more one-on-one conversations, a little bit more individualized attention to each student. We don't have that many counselors in the counseling office, and so it's a lot of times they have so many students that they're dealing with. It's hard for them to, really sit down and answer the, 5,000 questions that each student might have, when dealing with graduation.
And those that are anxious to set up a meeting should rest easy knowing that the counseling department is always here to help.
There's just all kinds of opportunities available, and I think that if students are really struggling with what to do after school and they don't want to do college and they don't think that they want to go into the military, there's a lot of options out there for kids going into the workforce.
For JAG TV, I'm Eduardo Meza Rocabert.
It might seem easy to take a history or math class remotely, but what about choir or a hands-on art class? Johnson teachers are figuring out how to navigate these challenges. Angie shows us how.
It comes as no surprise that Zoom classrooms are an adjustment for everyone, but some classes, like theater, choir, and art, are facing different obstacles than the rest.
The biggest struggle that we've had is we can't hear each other, which means everybody essentially has to stay muted. and you're just assuming that everybody's singing the same thing that you are.
We're very hands-on. It's easiest not to explain things to students with words, but to actually show them, to grab the pencil and draw out the example, or kind of show them physically what they need to be doing, or how to fix what they're trying to fix.
Theater is very much a group kind of thing where you feed off of each other's energy when you're acting, or the audience. So not having that has been very difficult.
And then you can do certain sorts of aspects online, but it's really tough to get the feel of live theater.
However, the teachers in these departments are coming up with creative solutions to make sure that the students don't miss out on the experience.
We still have rehearsal every day. We still warm up. We still sight read. We still work on music. It just looks a little bit different.
We're doing like flip grids where they're saying, hey, sing measure 37 to 52.
And then turn that in so that what I can't hear in class, I can hear later.
It hadn't completely hit me that I'm going to have to sculpt at home. But I think it works out really well, especially because of the kits that the teachers are putting together and sending home with the kids.
For my advanced technical theater students, the ones who normally would be working on designing and building productions. And they have starting yesterday, coming to pick up kits where they have paint and they have brushes and they have a board and they have some vintage postcards that they're going to be working on copying. And they're going to take that and work with it at home while we're on a Zoom call.
Because we can't do shows in person, we decided to do our first show as a film instead.
What we've done is we've sent people things by porch drop or having them come fix things up. Every time we go to a different character, we have to drop on their porch their costumes,
makeup, hair stuff, lighting,
the sound recording, everything they need. So it requires a lot of coordination.
Departments are even taking this as a learning experience by planning to adjust and improve future classes.
There's a lot of applications online that I would not have used before. Students could use their phone super fast and super easy and not take up class time and make it a little bit easier for everybody. I think communication and being able to present stuff online in that Google Classroom format, definitely keeping that moving forward.
And if the adjusting classes weren't enough, their contests and major events are also going through some changes.
So we have our all-state process where we're auditioning in October, November, January to make the all-state choir all virtual this year. Our fall concert is scheduled for October 6th. The physical concert has been canceled, but we will have a virtual choir concert.
We haven't been able to go to competition yet, obviously, but how they have competition set up is already a challenge. We have to film a video. They have to check and see if it's us and our voice and then send it into TMEA.
VACE is going to be virtual. And as far as night gallery, as of now, it's going to be face-to-face with the potential that it might have to be moved online. What we have thought for our next fall show, which is Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, is potentially having that performed in an outdoor setting. The students would stay 6 feet apart from each other. It is to be determined whether they would be masked while performing. They would certainly be masked backstage during rehearsals, things like that. If our numbers continue to trend downward and we feel it is safe, we might do the performance somewhere like at the Botanical Gardens or in the amphitheater outside. We might have it where we have an elevated stage and people do a drive-in sort of performance. We could then amplify the actors to a radio station.
But despite the muted voices, lack of supplies, and production difficulties, the adjustments are greatly appreciated.
I think that they've really done a good job with it. I would not have ever thought about that. I probably would have said oh, we can't do anything. So the fact that we've gotten that far and still been able to perform and figure out a way to do stuff is just really awesome.
Our directors are doing such a great job and trying new things.
The teachers in the art department are doing a really good job of gathering all the supplies and getting it to all the students.
For JAG TV, this has been Angie Vasquez.
For students who participate in sports, keeping up with Zoom meetings and new UIL guidelines has been its own challenge. Ethan visits with one of our coaches and NEISD athletic director to see what JAG fans can anticipate this season.
It's been a season full of stops and starts for athletes, with unexpected interruptions for spring sports that look like they would bleed into the fall. But that hasn't stopped teams from getting warmed up on Zoom.
It's been going really great. The kids are good. They're responsive. They're anxious to get back on the field and be in person. I think I think we're getting done what we need to get done. Working on character, 2 words, and making sure the kids understand what it takes to play. They got to be physical, and they understand the coach's philosophy. And I think that, right now, the only thing we haven't been able to do is, just see each other in person. But real soon here, we're going to get right back to it.
Now, with the approval and guidance from UIL, some athletes are on the field for what will be a remarkable fall season. NEISD has been at work on what that will look like for students and fans.
From the fans in the stadiums, seeing how the football teams are done on the fields as well, and getting used to the whole process of coming to a game and knowing what the protocols are and following those protocols and making sure that we're able to continue doing this. I feel pretty good about it right now, and hopefully we'll get through a whole season all the way to May.
Even though many are hopeful, so much is still unknown, and nobody really knows how well this whole process is going to be.
I expect them to go full speed ahead. I expect the kids to be excited and have some enthusiasm. I expect them to be able to overachieve. Actually, I think that their excitement's going to make them work harder. I think they're going to be more focused on what they do. I think that they're going to be paying attention a lot more to the CDC guidelines, wearing a mask and being safe and being 6 foot apart, knowing what they got, because they got to see firsthand how they got things were shut down. And I think that the kids are going to be paying attention, and they're going to be a little bit more responsible, because I think deep down inside they realize that if things don't go good, they could lose their seasons too.
From JAG TV, this has been Ethan Blanchett.
If it's your freshman year, there's a few things you need to know now. Stuff that every upperclassman wished they knew at 9th grade. Talia can tell you more.
Freshman year is already hard enough, and this year is only making it more challenging. As the semester begins, here's some things class of 2024 should keep in mind.
Students, we encourage them to, of course, grades and grading things definitely start with their classroom teacher as far as what's specifically taking place in that classroom. So how much quizzes or daily work or tests will be counting. As far as the grander scale of things, the counseling office, we can help guide students with knowing like what classes will count towards their GPA versus their ranked GPA and all of that, all those things. So for my freshmen, the most important thing I always want them to know is that really it's semester grades that count towards your GPA, and that they want to know that every semester counts.
With this year's changes in the phase-in plan, attendance has been adjusted and there will be no tardies. However, absences might still affect exemptions, and having more than 6 can lead to Saturday school in order to retain credit.
Attendance is kept in this new virtual world is different right now. And so what the term is that it needs to be active student engagement. And so they need to show that they're involved with that class. So preferably that's logging in and being active in your teacher's Zoom during the class period. So that's a guarantee that you would be marked active if you're in that Zoom during that class time with your teacher. If that's not possible for some reason, right now, while virtual is the only choice, we are able to allow students to work asynchronously.
Every year, class rank is a major worry for students. Freshmen won't receive their first official class rank until next fall. Sophomores will receive theirs next year, and juniors in June.
Some colleges and universities, they want to just have an idea of how you've done in comparison to your peers. When you're looking at a Texas public school, there are still the law of automatic admission for the top 10%. UT Austin always files a waiver. So for example, some years it's actually the top 6% for automatic admission. And they say that's because they want to have more slots available for students that they can have a holistic review of. Some schools are wanting to definitely, universities and colleges, looking at more holistic review. They want to know your GPA, but they also want to know what other things students have done in their time and what other learning experiences have they had.
In the spring, counselors will be meeting with students to discuss endorsements, future career plans, and any other questions they might have.
So endorsements are basically like a cluster of your electives. And so there's 5 main endorsements. The multidisciplinary encompasses the academic 4 core. So that's basically if you know that you want to have more flexibility and you're not quite sure what you want to take all your electives in, you could do the academic 4 core and then have more flexibility in your other electives.
With this year's changes, it's important to keep open communication with teachers and classmates, so don't be afraid to ask for help. For JAG TV, this is Talia Pimienta.
Starting the year virtually has been a shift, along with figuring out a new bell schedule. McCaslin has all you need to know about the new school schedule.
NEISD students can add one more thing to the list of changes for 2020. A new school schedule.
The district office that was looking at ways to help us be successful and help kids be successful. It's the best thinking of a lot of people over at the district office, and they rolled it out. When I came back to work on July 20th is when we started working on that idea.
The schedule introduces some major differences, and safety of the students and faculty was a major reason for these changes.
Longer passing periods so that things can be cleaned and fewer kids are in the hall at the same time. The lunches are going to be a little shorter and they're embedded in classes, kind of like an old AB schedule. And the day is shorter, but we'll still have the ability to tutor. So I think it moves faster for kids. I also like the idea that maybe you only have 4 classes on one day and 3 on the other. So maybe there's time to get caught up on some work or ask questions or get into tutoring. You guys had a shorter time to sit and get in front of a computer.
While NEISD middle and elementary campuses have chosen a more traditional block schedule, the high school schedule is structured in a way to help prepare students for college life.
We followed more of a college schedule that would fit better with being able to have the good old-fashioned office hours or tutoring times. When I started with the district, we used to be on block schedules. So we would go A-Day, B-Day, but we've never done a college type where you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday with those longer classes.
It is unclear if the schedule will remain for next year, but if all goes well, it might.
This schedule is in place for the 2021 school year. I'm hoping the next school year we can go back to a lot more traditional things, but maybe there'll be some great things that we find from this year and that schedule can be reviewed for the 2022 school year.
For JAG TV, this is McCaslin Sparrow. That's all for this week, JAGs, and remember to stay safe and wash your hands.
See you next time.
Okay.